truly care about what was done or care more about what will be done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the voters need to be reminded of the person who was president when the worst pandemic in the history of our country rose up and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Who was our president who stood aside and said it's actually it's like the flu, it'll go away? Who was the president that said basically sent love letters to Vladimir Putin, who wanted to take down our alliances, NATO and so forth? We really need to remind people of compared to what? Compared to Donald Trump, this is not we're not like running against the Almighty. We're running against Donald Trump. People need to be reminded of what did not go well in his administration. Frankly, it was in many respects, I think, a great disappointment, a great failure.
It's only day two, but in terms of energy, in terms of messaging, how would you contrast the way the Democrats have come out the blocks versus the way Republicans came out the blocks weeks ago in Milwaukee?
It's hard for me to be objective about this. I've known Kamala for any number of years. I knew her as a senator. I knew her before she was a senator. I knew her as a vice president. And they're going to have their hands full. And they're going to be wishing for the day that Joe Biden was going to lead our ticket again. And the idea that she's and added to hopefully to her being her sidekick, her running mate as vice president. Is Tim lost? I mean, he is such a breath of fresh air as well. People are going to love him when they get to know him.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about your personal feelings. You've known Joe Biden for so long. How are you processing last night? I've asked this of others, but you're such a dear friend of his. How are you processing last night, watching the outstanding, outrageous applause? The reception, to call it a warm reception would be an understatement. It was more than just a warm reception, but that's not what was happening like a few weeks ago. People were pushing him, off the stage. And last night we saw a 180 in terms of the way he was received as his friend. How did you juxtapose those two moments then, like 4 weeks ago, and now, last night?
Yeah, as his friend, I shared with him and those that are around him, his family and closest advisor. It's a decision I made 5-6 months ago, not to seek re-election. I'm 77 years old. I've been Delaware's treasurer, congressman, governor, senator, and I'm the most elected person in Delaware history, they tell me. But I just felt it was time for me to step aside and to encourage Lisa Blunt Rochester, our congressman, to run for my seat and to become, if elected, the third African-American woman elected to the Senate in history. And I have just been besieged by people in Delaware and outside of Delaware who applaud what I've done. And I would hope in some way that reaction has not been lost on Joe Biden. It's not been lost on his family. It's not been lost on those that are closest to him. And I like to say, find out what works, do more of that. This works for me, and it's going to work for him. He doesn't have to worry for the next 4 or 5 months about misspelling somebody, saying he doesn't have to worry about slipping, coming down the ladder. He doesn't have to worry about any of that. He could just focus on getting stuff done, finish running through the tape, and getting completion on all kinds of issues that still need to be addressed. I think at the end of the day, he will be glad that he's had this opportunity, and I thought Kamala, she has been handled this so well. She was as loyal as could be as he was going through the decision-making process, and God bless her. She played it so well.
Yeah. When we come forward with Senator Tom Carper of Delaware, I want to ask him a question about what he just mentioned a moment ago. If you were paying attention, I know you were, you now know that there are two white males in this country, two high-profile white males, who have both in this very season announced that they are not going to seek re-election, and both have passed the torch to two black women. That's very, very rare. We were talking about this in our last hour with Amy Allison, what it means when a powerful white male politician stands down and passes the torch to anybody black, but in this case, two white men, Joe Biden and Tom Carper, passing the torch to two African-American women. We'll talk about that part when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking.
That's what we do around here.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley. Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Delaware Senator Tom Carper, who has announced he's retiring. He's not running for re-election, and not unlike Joe Biden, Tom Carper, in fact, did this first. He announced he was not going to run for re-election again, a powerful white male in Delaware, and endorsed a sister who, if she wins, would be a black woman, another black woman in the United States Senate. Not very many have had that honor, but he has endorsed an African-American woman to take his place in the U.S. Senate. Joe Biden, his friend for many, many years, decides he's going to pass the baton. He passes to an African-American woman named Kamala Harris. It means something when a powerful politician, particularly a powerful white male politician, passes the baton to an African-American woman, giving her a chance to get off the ground more swiftly, more aggressively, with a lot more funding. You heard us talk in the last hour about all the consultants who are freed up and all the donors who are freed up and all the PACs that are freed up. All this support gets freed to help you take flight much more quickly. And so it's one could argue it's a noble thing to do, but I suspect Senator Carper, who I want to give the microphone to right now, would not necessarily regard it as noble. I suspect he's going to tell me that he chose the best candidate. He chose the best person to take his seat. Yes, Senator?
Well, as it turns out, Tavis, when a long time ago, I'd been a naval flight officer in the Vietnam War, moved to Delaware, got an MBA, and ran for state treasurer when I was 29. Nobody wanted to run. We had the worst credit rating in the country. And I ended up 2 years later encouraged by Joe Biden to run for Congress. And I did, and then knocked out the 3 or 4 term incumbent. And I was holding a town hall meeting in my second or third term as a congressman. And this after the town hall meeting was over, to have this young African American woman stay behind. She had a baby boy in her lap and was expecting a second child, a girl. And she told me that she was interested in finding a way to be involved in public life in Delaware. And I said, she explained she was a graduate student at the University of Delaware. And I said, well, we have a vacancy and opening for an intern. You could go to school part-time, be a mom and work part-time in our office in Wilmington, Delaware. She joined us, became an intern, and later on finished out for graduate work. And I had an opening for constituent services staffer in my Delaware office. And she was graduating from graduate school, so she joined me full-time. And she did that for a year or two. I became governor. She joined me in the governor's office and later became a cabinet secretary, not once but twice. Mm-hmm. And through all of that, so she was well prepared. And we had an opportunity to run for Congress, and she did. And she just has been rolling ever since. And so it's not like she just fell out of the sky and we picked her up and said, "Oh, how would you like to be a congresswoman?" No. Knew her well, know her family well. My wife and I just love her to death, and I think it's a mutual thing. And she's just she'll be my colleagues, Tavis, my colleagues in the Senate say, "Tom, we're really going to miss you when you leave the Senate in January 3rd next year." And I say, no, you get to know Lisa Blau Rochester, and you'll forget who I am in about 5 minutes. So we'll see.
No, it is. She'll make me. You did what I thought you were going to do. You laid out why you chose the best candidate. I did not realize all of that backstory and how long this relationship had been pre-existing, and all that you had done to support her and all that she had done to serve you. So I get the story now. It makes all the sense in the world. But again, it's just fascinating. I don't know that in my entire 30-year broadcast career that I've ever seen a moment like this where two very powerful, high-profile, high-level white males at the national level, and ironically, both of these guys from the same state, and both of them stand down and pass the baton to two black women. It's a powerful, powerful story in and of itself. I'm watching my time here. I've only got another 5 or so minutes with you, and I know, of course, following your career all these years, that you've been very involved in environment, and you've chaired some major committees in the Senate on the issue of the environment. We will hear more about that issue as we move through this week between now and Thursday from the DNC. You should know, Senator Carper, that we are in the midst on this radio program at my home station in L.A. We're syndicated across the country, but at my home station, we're in the midst of a 12-month multi-million-dollar campaign, climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience campaign to raise the level of IQ in the black community, specifically around the issue of the environment and all the issues connected to it. So it's a pretty aggressive campaign that we're in the midst of right now. So I don't want to lose you in this next 5 minutes without asking you about the role that environment ought to play in this election. We are scared, many are concerned about Project 2025. We discussed on this program a week or two ago that if Project 2025 gets a chance to advance under another Donald Trump presidency, they want to literally wipe out the phrase climate change from all federal documents. They want to just wipe out the phrase. Not that wiping out the phrase could change the reality that we're facing, but just talk to me these last 4 minutes here about the environment and what we ought to be talking about regarding that in this election campaign.
Yeah, some people used to think in the House and in the Senate, Republicans used to think climate change was a hoax, something was being made up. The jury's not out, the jury's in, and it is clear. If you look at what's going on in torrential rains, what's going on, and sea level rise, what's going on, and wildfires and so forth across our country, across the world. We've had just come through the hottest year on record, and before that it was the year before that was the hottest year on record. You just can't deny it. The question is, are we able to take some of the harness some of what we've put in the Inflation Reduction Act. We're able to take what we put in the bipartisan infrastructure bill for climate change to how can we do it and do it in ways to create jobs and economic opportunity, included in communities of color, where there's a need for jobs, and we need people to put in place quarters of charging stations. We need people to do all kinds of things to make real the climate change initiatives that we've funded, and they're going to help communities of color, but not just by providing cleaner air, cleaner water, and so forth, but also by providing job opportunities. And it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. My last couple of minutes here with you, I want to just ask you to reflect on the long career you've had in the U.S. Senate, but more expressly, as you step away, what you see and what say you about the future of our politics, whether we're talking the incivility of our politics, the log jam in Washington where nothing seems to get done, nothing seems to get passed. Just give me your sense, your read on the state of our politics right now, Senator. I'll let you go.
Yeah, just in spite of a bad situation, we've gotten a whole lot done. A huge amount of the most consequential infrastructure bill in the history of the country. We did all this stuff through the Inflation Reduction Act that actually does reduce inflation and helps make pharmaceuticals, prescriptions much more popular. There's all kinds of stuff that we've done, and we've done it in some cases without much Republican support. I'm encouraged by one thing. There are 18 Republican House members who basically petitioned the Speaker of the House, Republican, and said, we don't want to just walk away from all the clean energy investments that are being made to create jobs across the country. We think that's a good idea, and we shouldn't, as Republicans, want to walk away from it. I'm encouraged by that, and I'm basically an optimistic person. I think Joe Biden certainly is as well. The other thing I'd say about Joe, and I know we're running out of time, he and I both were raised by mothers of deep faith. And the big part of what he was raised in, and me as well, is to treat other people the way we want to be treated, golden rule. And I think as long as we do that, regardless of who's in charge, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, if we will basically take that and hold that close, and as we make our decisions, our country will be better off, and so will we.
Senator Tom Carper, I want to close this conversation by thanking you for your many, many years of service. Bill Press is about to be my next guest. He's sitting down and wants to say hello, I think.
I want to say hello to a
Bill
man
Press.
that I consider a good friend and my senator, because I was born in Delaware.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I've always loved Tom Carper. We've known each other a long time. Senator, you've done a great job representing all of my family in Delaware. I want to thank you and say hello to you and share your joy in seeing our brother, Joe Biden, get the credit he finally deserved last night in front of this convention.
It's wonderful. Bill, thanks so much. Thanks for being my friend, buddy. Thanks for letting me serve the people of Delaware and our country for all these years. Thank you.
Senator Carper, thank you for your time, sir. All the best to you. Tom Carper, longtime senator from Delaware. As I said earlier, I thank him for his time. He's busy, a lot of calls. But we were talking, Bill, about the fact that Tom Carper, first of all, let me pause for a second. This is my friend Bill Press, who I've known for many, many years. And there are a number of people in my career who sort of put me on. I've said it many times, Geraldo Rivera was the first person to put me on national television. But when I was just a kid in L.A., trying to get started and wanted to understand how to be really good at this calling that I believe God gave me to use my voice to say what I see, I sought out the advice of a few people, but none more than the icon, Bill Press, who we all know across the country, of course. But he was in L.A. many years ago. And I don't know if Bill recalls, but I called him a couple times and asked him would he go to lunch. Could I take him? I was broke as the Ten Commandments. I was as broke as the Ten Commandments. But I said, Bill, can I take you to lunch, Mr. Press? Can I take you to lunch? He's Bill now, my friend. He was Mr. Press then. Can I take you to lunch and just pick your brain about what it means to be in media? I want to be the kind of broadcaster that you are, to be a truth teller, and to be prepared when I go on the air every day. And so Bill Press took my call, went to lunch with me on one or two occasions, and he just poured into me. And so every time I get a chance to talk to Bill Press, I am honored. So first of all, my friend, it's good to see you.
My brother from another mother,
That's
as they
it.
say, right?
That's it.
Tavis, I'll never forget that. We were at KFI. I was at KFI.
That's right.
And I remember you called, and I had heard about your work. You were already doing a few little things there in South Central.
Yep.
And we did have lunch twice, as I recall.
That's correct.
And I was so impressed with you and really felt you had a great future. I was right. And I got to tell you, I have followed your career, and I've just been so happy to see you. I was on your PBS show. I mean, several times. We've kept in touch. And this new network that you have created,
we're trying, man.
I'm
we're
blown away by it, man. It's really
no,
so
I appreciate
successful.
it. I appreciate it. We're honored to be here in Chicago with you.
Yeah.
Let me just before I get to a couple things that Tom Carper and I were talking about. I got 3 minutes here. We'll continue. We'll continue when we come forward.
Okay.
But in these 3 minutes, though, just give me your opening salvo about this convention, about last night, about Democrats' chances. How are you feeling?
I am feeling excited. I am feeling enthusiasm and hope. And you know, I've been to every convention since 1976. Okay?
Wow.
That with Jerry Brown was my first one. Right.
Wow.
Now, under COVID, there was not a convention. Otherwise, I've been to every one.
Sure.
I have never seen a convention with the excitement, with the spirit, with the enthusiasm as this one. This party is united like I've never seen it before. And last night's convention, again, I've never seen an opening night like it. I mean, Hillary Clinton was on fire. Reverend Warnock, unbelievable, that message, right? Jim Clyburn's one of my favorite people, right? That presence there. Jamie Raskin, Jasmine Crockett, right? And then leading up to, I'm skipping over maybe a couple of people, but those and the couples talking about reproductive freedom and the problems that they had, and in just making the right decision for their own families, right? In these red states of problems that they saw, and then the First Lady, who is such an outstanding person. That's a couple. The love in that couple is so apparent, right, and so real. And the president's daughter, Ashley, boy. Travis, where's she been?
Yeah.
I had never seen her.
No, she was
before.
good last night. She was
so good.
She was good, yeah.
And then I thought the president did an outstanding job. And that line, America, I gave my best to you. Boy, that's one for the history books, right? This is a man who's given over 50 years of his life serving his country as a public servant, right? In the Senate, Vice President, and President of the United States. I gave my best to you. He said, I haven't been perfect. I'm not perfect, right? And that selfless decision he made. And last night, the chants of "We love you, Joe," and the chants of "Thank you, Joe," well deserved.
No, there were a lot of tears last night.
There were
a lot of tears last night. There'll be a lot of joy, though. A lot of joy, but a lot of tears, celebrating the end of the coming end of a pretty remarkable.
The word I hear so much is hope, right? And it reminds me of Jesse Jackson. Keep hope alive.
Yes, Lord.
I saw him the other night.
Yeah,
I love him. And Barack Obama.
Yeah,
right.
It's gonna be a big night tonight. Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Michelle Obama on stage this evening. We'll continue our conversation with media icon Bill Press when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Democratic National Convention rolls on in Chicago, Illinois. A number of well-known names hit the stage Monday, including freshman Congresswoman African-American Jasmine Crockett of Texas, who urged voters to carefully consider the resumes of the two candidates for the Oval Office. General Motors is eliminating over 1,000 jobs, with almost 600 of the positions located at its Global Technical Center in Michigan. The company says the cuts are to streamline operations and lead to more efficiency. Gen Z is blaming social media for mental health issues they experience. That's according to a Talker research survey of 2,000 Gen Z social media users. They say TikTok and Instagram are the main culprits, followed by Facebook. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new saucy nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert practiced Monday for the first time since July 31st. Herbert was out with a plantar fascia injury in his right foot. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said Herbert looked sharp in his return despite the long layoff. The Chargers hope to have Herbert ready for the regular season opener September 8th against the Raiders. The Rams continue to be cautious with quarterback Matthew Stafford's hamstring injury. Stafford is limited to only stretching exercises in practice. The Rams are saving him for their regular season opener September 8th at Detroit. Miller Moss has been named USC starting quarterback. The junior from Mission Hills, California, has the challenging task of replacing Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Moss indicated he's up for the challenge when he threw 6 touchdown passes in USC's Holiday Bowl win over Louisville in December. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Environmental justice is racial justice.
Environmental justice is social justice.
This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom.
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Bill Press. We are honored to have Bill Press as our guest for the next few minutes. So we're going to be joined, I think, in a few minutes by the former mayor of New York City, Bill DeBlasio. All kinds of politicals in this hall, as you can imagine. You see them on TV every night, this week during the convention at least. So a number of them popping in and out of my booth today, yesterday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll talk to a little bit of everybody.
As we said, it's like an old home week, right?
That's what it is. Old home week, family reunion, whatever. But you come to a Democratic convention, you see everybody. And so we're trying to weave them in, get them in and out as quickly as we can. But I'm pleased to have Bill Press in this chair. You were mentioned earlier, I see the mayor. He just walked up. We'll get to him in just a few minutes here. Bill DeBlasio is standing in front of me, former mayor of New York City. Delighted to talk to him in just a few moments here. But Bill Press, you were saying earlier when Tom Carper was on that you are a native Delawarean.
Yes.
And I was making the point earlier, for those who may have missed it, that the two most powerful electeds in the state of Delaware, one would be Joe Biden, of course, the president. The other would be the retiring Senator Tom Carper. Both of these white males in the same state have announced that they're not seeking re-election, and both of them have endorsed black women. Joe Biden, of course, passes the torch to Kamala Harris, and Tom Carper passes the torch to Lisa Blunt Rochester,
who has been a great member. First of all, Delaware only has one member of Congress.
Yeah, only one. That's right. Only one.
And like Vermont.
Sure.
And she has been a dynamite member of Congress.
Yep.
And she'll be a great United States senator. So she'll be elected.
Yeah.
And so will, I think, Angela Ashbrook from the state of Maryland, right?
There'll be a couple sisters, a couple black women in the U.S. Senate.
Exactly.
But it's just amazing, though, that these two guys, Carper and Biden, both from Delaware, both endorsing African American women.
And let me tell you, for Delaware,
yeah,
that's big.
That is really big. That's why I'm laying on this. That's a big freaking deal.
As I said just before the break, I was born in Delaware, and a little town in Delaware, south of Wilmington, Delaware.
Right.
And when I went to school, we were a segregated community, Tavis.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a white school. There was we call it the colored school, out of town.
Sure.
I mean, so this was, in the 50s, Delaware was still a segregated state. Right. And southern Delaware is still, I hate to say, MAGA territory.
Yep.
But the rest of Delaware is now comfortably blue, and it's thanks to Tom Carper, Joe Biden, Chris Coons, John Carney, who's the governor there now.
Yeah.
And so, you're right.
Let me close with this. We'll get to the mayor here. Give me your sense of what happens between now and November. She's gonna get a big bump out of this convention, I'm certain. No question in my mind, as I've said repeatedly, she will crush him in the popular vote. Tell me how you're feeling about the Electoral College.
I am feeling good about the Electoral College. I'm feeling great about Kamala Harris as a candidate.
Okay.
She's run. I've seen her run, and I've helped her 3 times run statewide and in California, and every time she got stronger and stronger. And I think what she has shown in the last month, since Joe Biden endorsed her, she has flipped this country around, and Donald Trump he's floundering. Cover the New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
Is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it shows Kamala and Tim Walz going up, and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance going down, and that's going to continue. I agree with you. She's going to get a big bump out of this convention.
Yeah.
She's our next president of the United States, Tavis. And boy, would that be a day to celebrate.
It would be a day. It would be a day. Bill Press, before you leave, let me close where I began, thanking you for being so kind to me all those years ago. Believe it or not, over 30 years ago, you took lunch with me, man. And so I tell folk all the time, if you love me, thank Bill Press. If you loathe me, blame Bill Press.
Look, I joined your fan club when I first met you, and I'm still a member of your fan club, if not the president of it.
Well, you at least I got 2 of you. You and my mama. That's a good thing. Love you, Bill. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, my friend. All the best to you. We're going to be joining in just a second. He's trying to get him in the chair here. But the former mayor of New York City, Bill DeBlasio, is here. As I mentioned, this hall is full of just about everybody. They're all over the place, and we're trying to get them in here so you can hear them, hear from them about what they make of this convention and Kamala's chances of pulling this off in November. But it's just a great delight for me to be at this convention once again, talking to all these persons who I've interviewed and known over the years. Saw them meeting for the first time, but as Bill and I were just saying, it's a big gathering of all the right people in one place, and just give you a visual here. So we're inside the United Center. I can sort of see the stage off to my left, but there's a big media hall, and so if you can just imagine a big convention center, if you will, with all this open floor space, and each of us has a little booth. And these booths are pretty small when you're on the kind of budget I'm on. They can get bigger if you got Fox News money or CNN money. Your booth's a little bit bigger. But ours is just a little small booth with a couple chairs in it, a couple microphones, and but we're lined up. I mean, there's just tons and tons of radio shows from all across the country who are in this massive area. And so we're here, and we are fortunate to have people come see us every few minutes as they move through this hall. And I am honored, as he's taking a seat right now, to be joined by the former mayor of the city of New York. Of course, I love the city of New York, and I love Bill DeBlasio. I recall when Bill DeBlasio ran, I was a huge fan then because it was a big deal for those of us who are unapologetically progressive to see somebody of our ilk become the mayor of New York City. And so you're listening to Tavis, Smiley, and now you're listening to Tavis, Smiley, and Bill DeBlasio. Mr. Mayor, how are you, sir?
Good, my friend. How you doing?
It's good to see you. It's been a long time, my friend. How are you?
I feel great. What an amazing time to be alive. You and I have seen a few things in the political world, Tavis, and I don't think if they said to us we could write a script, I don't think we could have written a script.
I think you're right. I didn't see this coming. I didn't see it coming.
Not even close.
Yeah, so we were talking earlier, and I want to just get your take on this right quick. As a matter of fact, I got 2 minutes here to do this, and we'll continue when we come forward.
Sure.
In these first 2 minutes here, what does this convention, this passing of the torch, as it were, that we saw officially last night, say to you about the reckoning this party will have in the years to come, about what this party looks like going forward?
I think we have been blessed to go through something that is necessary in an incredibly graceful, fast manner. Look at today's Democratic Party. Look at the hall. Look at the people who were speaking last night. Look at our candidates at the top of the ticket. This is the party we were meant to be. This is a party that actually looks like and feels like America, including a positive, hopeful vision for America, which Kamala Harris has been doing an amazing job expressing. So I think our party is actually going through a rite of passage we had to go through one way or another. And I also want to give a shout out to folks who tried to push a progressive vision like Bernie Sanders, who's had a big impact. Kamala Harris is going to take that piece of the equation. She's going to take the fact that we need a more representative leadership in Washington. She's blending all that together into something I think is an exciting, progressive vision of a diverse leadership of a diverse country.
You and I are both, as I said earlier, unapologetically progressive in our politics. When we come forward here, I want to ask you, because I've discussed it with others, but not one of your stature as mayor, former mayor of New York City. How would you, I'm going to put you on the spot here when we come forward.
Okay.
How would you, if you were Kamala and Tim Walz, respond to the trope that Donald Trump was trying to put on them, that they are too progressive? They are too progressive for this country. Bill DeBlasio, of course, was a progressive in New York City, a little bit different than playing in the Midwest and in these battleground states. But if you were Kamala, what would you be saying? What advice would you give her about how to respond to this issue that they are just too progressive for America? Our guest is the former mayor of the Big Apple, Bill DeBlasio, on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement. Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the AmeriCAN Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the AmeriCAN program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The AmeriCAN Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCANCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCANCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers Magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black. Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with the former mayor of the city of New York, Bill DeBlasio, who I'm honored to have on this program. We got about 10 minutes left here between now and the close of today's show. I'm going to spend these last 10 minutes with Bill DeBlasio. I was asking you a moment ago, Mr. Mayor, how you would respond to this pushback that Harris and Walz are getting, that they're just too progressive for America.
First of all, you can't be too progressive if you're trying to address fundamental injustice, vast income inequality, all the things that are broken because of Trumpism. I mean, I reject the claim to begin with. But second of all, one of the things I love about the Kamala Harris we're seeing now, I think this is the real Kamala Harris, who for many years was advised not to be her whole self. Now we're seeing the real person, the joy, but also the solidly, core progressive vision of change. And then Tim Walz, I think, has been a major addition because he is so clearly comfortable in his own skin. And he is a classic, there's a prairie progressive tradition. You know your American history. There is a progressive, economic, populist tradition in the Midwest and the Western states that goes back a century and more. He is epitome of that. And, how are you going to say a high school football coach and a National Guardsman is, some other? How are you going to say a prosecutor is some other? They're trying to other the two of them, but they're not otherable.
I think the mayor just made up a new word.
I did.
They are not. That's why you did the Blasio.
I came here just to do it with you.
You're a bad man.
Okay.
They are not otherable.
Yeah.
I will use that. I'll use that
give me the quote. Okay.
Since you went there, let me follow you. What do you make of the fact that the media for so long got it wrong about Kamala? They won't admit that, but they got it wrong.
Yeah.
And even the politicos inside of Washington, inside the White House, they got it wrong.
Yep.
you've been at this a long time. You've seen people get stories and things wrong about you and about your chances to win. And,
Oh, my God, yes.
yeah. So what do you make of the fact that all of these people got it so wrong? Anybody going to admit the truth, but they were wrong.
Well, they usually do.
Yeah.
They got it wrong about Jesse in 1984.
That's right.
They got it wrong about Bernie Sanders in 2016.
That's right.
I mean, they're usually wrong, is what I learned a long time ago. They obviously remember in the beginning Barack Obama was going to be like an also-ran. I mean, come on.
Right.
So, but I will say, a lot of us, I think, because I don't think we were seeing the full Kamala, the true Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us didn't see the spark that we're now seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand. Look, I don't think it's unfair to say the country is still pervaded by racism and sexism. I don't think that's a radical statement.
Yeah.
If you're a woman of color running for office, with all of the negativity thrown at you all the time, of course you're going to play tight. You're going to hold back. You're going to try to, address what is perceived to be the mainstream taste.
Yeah.
My view is now that Kamala Harris has been totally embraced by this party and this country, we're getting to see who she really is, and people like it. And Tim Walz, that's just who he is. He never had to hide it, and he doesn't choose to hide it. And I think it's incredibly powerful.
I'm going to show the mayor one of a bunch of text messages I just received. And once he reads it, you hear his laugh, I'll tell you what he's reading.
Okay. Okay, good. You see, Tavis, we have Otherable. They are not Otherable. It's now going. I'm gonna now put a trademark on that. I'm gonna give you royalties. Because it wouldn't have happened without you. Okay.
I just showed the mayor a text. My phone just that fast. A bunch of messages, and this one says, quoting the mayor, quote, "They are not otherable," close quote. Man, I love that. I too will be using this term, Tavis.
Okay.
So all of my talk show host friends.
Let's roll with it. Let's change the language. It started here in Chicago.
Our remaining moments with the former mayor of New York City, Bill DeBlasio, when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com can help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
You are indeed tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now for the next 4 minutes. That's all I have left on today's episode of Tavis Smiley live from the DNC. It's day 2 here. A big night last night with Joe Biden capping things off. A big night tonight with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. It's going to be insane up in this joint tonight. With those persons taking the podium. I'm pleased to wrap this conversation today with the former mayor of the city of New York, Bill DeBlasio. What do we progressives do, Bill DeBlasio, in this moment? What do we do?
We recognize that we have one of the most progressive tickets in the history of this country in Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, and we get into gear. We reach out to people, including a lot of people who honestly were not enthused enough by Joe Biden. I think they should have been if you look at his policies, but they just weren't.
Sure.
It's a chance for everyone now to get in the game, but we got to organize. One of the things that unfortunately the coastal elites get wrong is the elections are still won on the ground. God bless, paid media and all the big messaging and all that, but there's still won on the ground. And we can turn out that vote in Nevada, in Arizona, in Georgia. The grassroots leadership in those states is unbelievably strong, but we got to support them. And we got to say to everyone, that's where resources need to go, knocking on those doors, reaching people in their communities.
It occurs to me as I'm sitting next to you, and I hadn't thought about this until like literally the last 10 seconds, that if Democrats can win the White House, and more importantly for this point, win the House, it would be a New Yorker, a black New Yorker, as Speaker of the House.
Well, let me tell you something. Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
I just combined Hakeem and Tish James. Hakeem Jeffries is two good people. Okay?
There you go. Two good people. Yeah.
Hakeem Jeffries is it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Of how he built his leadership. I saw it from the very beginning when he ran for assembly. Extraordinarily talented, patient, focused, coalition builder. And look, he played a big role in history here as one of the people who very respectfully went to Joe Biden and said, we have to make this change. I think history is going to smile on Joe Biden for agreeing to it, but history is going to smile on Hakeem Jeffries for being one of the authors of it.
Yeah. He Schumer.
Yes,
Pelosi,
Obama. By the way, in a way, the old school, like the party bosses, that kind of thing doesn't exist like it used to. But this was the party elders. The folks who had been elected to the highest positions in our land and in our party, using their influence to say, we got to come to a sober decision that we love our leader, we respect him, he's achieved amazing things, but we need this change.
Yeah.
And they did it. And they did it with extraordinary dignity.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I thank you for this time to talk to you. I close where I began. I've always been a big Bill DeBlasio fan, and as an unapologetic progressive, what you put off in New York those years ago was empowering for me and for the rest of us. And so the struggle continues and the fight goes on.
It always does, and we don't give up.
That's it. And when we fight, we win. That's how we do that.
Did you just come up with that?
No, I can't own that one. I can't own that.
I think you did, Tavis.
No, I can't own it. I can't own it. And if I did, it's not as good as otherable.
Okay, well, let's say, as Tavis Smiley says, when we fight, we win.
Yeah, and as Bill DeBlasio says, we are not otherable. And we'll close the show on that. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until then, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Democratic National Convention rolls on in Chicago, Illinois. A number of well-known names hit the stage Monday, including freshman Congresswoman African-American Jasmine Crockett of Texas, who urged voters to carefully consider the resumes of the two candidates for the Oval Office. General Motors is eliminating over 1,000 jobs, with almost 600 of the positions located at its Global Technical Center in Michigan. The company says the cuts are to streamline operations and lead to more efficiency. Gen Z is blaming social media for mental health issues they experience. That's according to a Talker research survey of 2,000 Gen Z social media users. They say TikTok and Instagram are the main culprits, followed by Facebook. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new Saucy Nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert practiced Monday for the first time since July 31st. Herbert was out with a plantar fascia injury in his right foot. Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh said Herbert looked sharp in his return despite the long layoff. The Chargers hope to have Herbert ready for the regular season opener September 8th against the Raiders. The Rams continue to be cautious with quarterback Matthew Stafford's hamstring injury. Stafford is limited to only stretching exercises in practice. The Rams are saving him for their regular season opener September 8th at Detroit. Miller Moss has been named USC starting quarterback. The junior from Mission Hills, California, has the challenging task of replacing Caleb Williams, the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Moss indicated he's up for the challenge when he threw 6 touchdown passes in USC's Holiday Bowl win over Louisville in December. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Under the bud.
Welcome forward now. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson, here on KBLA Talk 1580. And we are creating millionaires, one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you.
The harvest is here and the time is now. You know, I love saying that because someone said it to me and my harvest started to just overflow more abundantly than I could have ever imagined. So I love you so much that I have to say it to you each and every time. An example of that, we've been talking about dreaming, how to dream. And I want to talk about living in your dream and what that looks like and what it feels like. So I thought that the best person to help me in this discussion today is someone that you have not met yet, but you will get to know very soon, especially if you are working with me in one way or the other or in some capacity. And this is Dr. Katrina Pullum. She has so many degrees. I can't say them all. She's going to have to tell them all to you herself. But she is my armor bearer, business manager. She oversees all of the operations for my enterprises, many of them. I'm going to call it an empire at this point. All of the companies, Hip Hop Sisters Foundation, Sunny Girl, 3L Productions, Lynn Richardson, all of that stuff. If you want to get anything done, you have to go through us. You have to go through her. But guess what? She started out where you are. She came to the Wealth Experience in 2016. It's our annual event. We'll be telling you more about that later. And she came with the intent to go and hang out at the beach in Miami, and ended up in classes all day, every day, crying, healing, being delivered and set free, and transforming her finances and the finances of her family. So without further ado, I have to welcome my sister and friend and partner in crime, but good crime. This is stuff we're doing good. We're killing the devil and we're killing poverty. That's what we're doing. Those are the crimes that we are committing. We are killing the enemy and we are killing poverty. So without further ado, welcome to the roundtable, Katrina Pullum. Dr. Trina, come on now.
Thank you so much. It is such an awesome pleasure to be here with you today. So, and especially on International Women's Day.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's great. It's great to be here.
Well, every day is International Women's Day. I'm going to say that because James Brown said it best. It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. So, therefore... Therefore, I was watching an episode of The Real, and Light was guest hosting, and she said it in a different way, but I'm going to include my brothers in this. Yes, we need our strong brothers, but I'm just going to adhere to what my good friend, James Brown, even though I never met him, but in my head, he is my best friend. I remember going into surgery. I had to have a procedure, and the anesthesiologist and the surgeon asked me what did I want to listen to, or at least what music should be on, because of course I was going to have anesthesia and I was going to be under. And I said, James Brown and Aretha Franklin. They said, what? They said they had never had anybody request that. I'm like, do you operate on black people? Baby. I said, and all I know is I was on the table and I guess I went under to say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And I was the only black person in the building. And they were just jamming, and it was so wonderful. And needless to say, my procedure went so well. As a matter of fact, I did not have to take any, addictive medication, because they put you on all of this stuff, Vicodin and, Oxy and all of those things. They put you on those things after the procedure, and I only had to take my medication for one day, the day of the procedure. The next day, I didn't have any pain. I took it anyway just to make sure, but by day 3, I did not have to have anything at all. So that was very, very good, which, by the way...
music is soothing. And
yes.
So, for me to get in my zone and really work and do my thing, I have to always have my music on.
Now, I'm different in that way. I don't like music on in the car if I'm the one driving, because I need to focus on the road and all the crazy people honking their horns. And if I think if I'm alone working, I'm okay with music. But if there are other people asking questions, it just kind of becomes a distraction for me. I like to listen to music when all I can do with that music is dance to it. But if I've got to work and think and do numbers and stuff, I like silence better, because what happens for me with silence, I am actually creating at that time as well. But if I have music, it's almost like the music interrupts the space and I get into the music, which is great. But, to each his own. But I do love music, and I love me some James Brown, Aretha Franklin. I love me some stepping music, all of it. Even the people that they want to mute, I still love all of it. And, I say y'all not muting all of these other criminals that's running around doing stuff to people. So don't try to mute my people. Let them serve their time. Let them pay for their crime. But can I still listen to the music, please? I'm not going to say the name, but I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I still like the music. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. But we are talking about, we're on a dream series. And Dr. Trina, can you just tell us how you got to know about the wealth experience? And then we will, get to learn a little bit more about your story.
Okay. So how I got to learn about the wealth experience, I woke up one morning, it was a Saturday morning, scrolling through social media, I saw that one of my friends was going to be speaking at the Wealth Experience. So I did some research. I was like, well, let me see what this is about. And so I was going to come hang out at the beach, go support her, and do my thing. And when I looked at the rates, and it was like a few days before the payment was due. So it was in December, and Wealth Experience is in January. And so I talked to my husband about it, showed it to him, and he was like, I'm coming too. I'm like, but this is for women. And he was like, I'll come.